So for those people who aren't as familiar with you, can you give us a little insight into what's your daily mission? Because you're a sleep scientist. There's not a whole lot of people who can say that.
Yeah, well, my daily mission changes, but my background has been the same for about 20 years now, which is crazy to me. I started my career in sleep medicine by practicing sleep studies. I got boarded in what's called polysomnography, which is the study of sleep. So I used to diagnose sleep disorders for patients with things like sleep apnea, narcolepsy, insomnia, all of that when they would come into the sleep lab. After that, I became an adjunct professor at Minneapolis College, where I taught the sleep medicine program. And then I started my small business where I work with corporations and teams to help tired employees. Sleep medicine has come a long way since I've even started. I used to say, oh yeah, I work in sleep. And people would say, what? You get paid to take naps? Like, no, I actually help other people get to take naps. But now when you talk about sleep medicine, even just post-pandemic, this mentality of wellness first, it really has just skyrocketed kind of to the forefront of people's minds, which is good and bad. Obviously, it's great because we're helping people feel better and really be their best productive selves. But it's kind of bad recently when I've seen all of these things, these money-making devices, these just like products out there where they're taking advantage of people's fatigue. That infuriates me. So I love having conversations about obviously sleep in general, but really how even just getting to that point of awareness of saying, hey, I'm not supposed to be tired all the time, having that be your first step and just finding solutions.
And I found an article, I think I may have even forwarded it to you because we were, I think we had this discussion because this goes back to me as personal. I had apnea, I had all kinds of sleep disorders, but the sleep industry is a big one. It has blown up. It's billions and billions of dollars industry. And a lot of that is in sleep aids as far as prescription drugs. And they're not always good for you. As a matter of fact, they don't give you the right kind of sleep and that kind of stuff. And I think that most people aren't aware of that. Do you have any insight into, sleeping pills or melatonin and all those types of things?
That's such a great point. People aren't aware of it, and their physicians and their doctors that are prescribing them aren't even aware of it. The average medical professional gets an hour and a half of sleep education in med school. In their 8 years of schooling, 1.5 hours is spent on a third of our lives. And that is terrifying.
Wow.
Because then they get kicked out into the systems and we have questions, we have concerns. Hey, doc, I'm tired. Oh, okay, let's check your thyroid. That's the first place that they always go. Not, let's get you in a sleep lab and see if you have an underlying sleep disorder. On top of that, they have the ability to just prescribe. And that is an important part of keeping medical practices afloat. Sadly, that relationship with the pharmaceutical companies is important. And now it's trickling down. So instead of knowing to say, hey, you're tired all the time, let's check out your sleep, they say, here's an easy on-hand solution that's already in my desk drawer. Try this, with no conversation regarding if there's an actual physiological problem. Let's just throw a med at it and see what happens. And we've seen dire consequences for years from that.